Okay, so I just found out I had to present last night, so I apologize if I'm a little nervous. So I'm here for Peak Neurophysiology Group. Thank you, Tech Valley, for allowing us to present, and thank you all for listening to more about our company. Before I get started, I want to describe a scenario. Let's pretend that you have to have back surgery tomorrow, and you're aware of some of the team members involved. The surgeon, the team of anesthesia, and the case manager. But somebody you might not be aware of is the neurophysiologist. And much like you see this young lady here, the neurophysiologist is responsible for monitoring the function of your brain and spinal cord for the procedure. We are Peak Neurophysiology Group, and we are an intraoperative neurophysiological monitoring practice located in upstate New York, and we provide monitoring services for the Northeast. So a little bit more about the field of IOM. Scary but true, there are no state or federal requirements for these technicians to be in the OR with you, monitoring your spinal cord or your brain. No licensure. Many of these companies that have neurophysiologists or hire neurophysiologists provide minimal on-the-job training. Some as much or as few as 6 weeks to 3 months, and before you're in the OR, you're kind of flying solo to monitor cases. And even though that's the case, there is a growing demand for IOM, but a shortage of well-trained clinicians. And what really happens is the patient ultimately suffers, okay? Our owner, CEO Mike, has been a part of policy and procedures. He's been a part of research publications, quality assurance, and after doing a lot of QA audits, he has seen, unfortunately, a lot of the safety of patients be jeopardized, and he had a passion really for starting a company where this was pretty much unacceptable. Our solution is that we are looking for people that have graduated with graduate level disciplines in the neurosciences, MSs, PhDs, DCs, DPTs, audiologists, and placing them in the OR. In addition to that, we are providing a one-year clinical fellowship. One-year clinical fellowship that includes didactic and both a one-year clinical preceptorship. We're hoping also to make a positive impact on the field of IOM by partnering with colleges to develop a graduate level certificate or a curriculum or a program for IOM neurophysiologists. So a little bit more about the market. One of the studies here revealed that it is growing, and in 2016 it was around 1 billion, and it's expected to cross almost 2 billion by 2023. And another thing to know is that 50% of IOM services are actually outsourced, especially in the capital region, and expanding outward. That these are outsourced services provided to hospitals and surgical facilities. There's a CAGR of 13% for those outsourced IOMs, and the revenue is really generated through two means. It's the contract with the hospital and the claims from the insurance. So our competition really is only one competitor in the capital region proper. And if we expand without our outward for 2 hours, we have only two competitors. And both embrace really that technician-based model. That technician-based model meaning that is minimal training that these technicians are going into the OR and overseeing these cases. Only BS requires some only have an associate's degree, or some actually straight out of high school. And relatively short, once again, stressing the point of the on-the-job training. So our leadership, Mike, who is not here right now because he's covering some cases and he was stuck in the OR, he got his BS from Plattsburgh and an MS from Cornell. He's the one that really had the background in IOM up here and in the upstate New York, and he's a published author of IOM research. I bring a little bit more from the business aspect because I helped to found a chiropractic practice, and I've been the clinical director down in DC of multiple private practices. So I've been helping him more with the business and operational stuff of the practice. So we just actually signed our first contracts. That's why he couldn't be here. It said that he covered 2 cases, but it was actually 4. And we're in negotiations with 3 other facilities in Central and Western Mass, Central New York and Western Mass. And right now we're actually preparing to make our first strategic hire. So today what kind of we're looking for are maybe potentially people who have connections or can land a conversation with OR managers, purchasing directors, parts of supply chain for hospitals or surgical facilities, and even the surgeons, because all 4 of these are decision makers when it comes to who they want to provide in the OR. And potentially investors so that we can really build our clinical team. So wrapping it up and bringing it back to that original scenario that I kind of described. You're scheduled for surgery tomorrow. You know you have your surgeon, you have your case manager, you have your team of anesthesia, and then you have your neurophysiologist. And the question I ask is, who do you want monitoring your brain or spinal cord during the procedure? Do you want a minimally trained tech or a highly trained peak neurophysiologist? We believe that we can provide better clinicians to surgeons and create better outcomes for patients. Thank you. I will do my best to answer any questions.
Do they bring your own equipment to the OR?
Yes, the question was, do we bring our own equipment into the OR? We do. We bring our own equipment. We bring the hardware and the software and the electrodes and everything that we need to place on the patient. And we're monitoring the patient, providing information to the surgeon during the procedure. Yes?
Is your service more of a medical requirement, or is it an insurance requirement, or both?
It's actually not currently a requirement. Some surgeons, very, very few, but some surgeons elect to not have monitoring, but it's not a requirement in the surgical suite. Great, thank you.
What's driving that?
Driving the business?
Yeah, I mean, if it's not a requirement, what's driving?
The outcomes for patients. So different research studies that have been conducted to reveal the validity and the importance of IMONAP. So very, very clinical